Thanks so much for joining me today. I want to talk to you about thanks. Well, what do you do when someone helps you out with something and you really want to give them a thank you? Do you give them a quick text message, or do you maybe give them something that you know they're really going to appreciate, a gift card maybe? Or I don't know, what is it that you do? Generally, what I do is zip off a thank you note. And for people who order from my online store in the month of February, I'm zipping off something even better. It's card guts. Yep, card guts. Card guts are all the things that help you make up a card. And I do 4 of them in a package to say thank you for shopping on my online store. For orders of $25 or more, I send out a packet of card guts, and there are YouTube videos like this one that show how I envision a card being made with those card guts. So I would just give you the paper that is used for it, except for embellishments and adhesive stamps and ink. You're on your own for those things. I have everything else included though, so it's a win-win. You get your wonderful products. You help me grow my small business, and I send you a thank you saying you're awesome. Thank you so much for all your help. I'm Julia with Julia Sue's Stamping, where I am passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafts, making cards, and sharing the fun of how to do all of that with you. Everything I use will be listed down below in the description, so just check down there if you want. Also, my blog address is down there, and on the blog I put all the measurements for things that are used in the cards, so that way if you want to recreate these on your own using what you have at home instead of the card guts I give you, you will be able to do that. So it sounds like a good plan to me. I hope you think so too. So I am from Northeast Ohio. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Please be sure you give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate your help in growing my small business. Let's get started. All right, down on the work surface, here we are. This is the card that I'm doing with these card guts. And it has a lot of fun details, and I am so excited to share this with you. The thank you will include some crumb cake cardstock that has been cut to be 8.5 by 5.5 and then scored at 4.25. I like to use my bone folder to make the score line nice and tight and the fold of the card. So whichever way you decide to use it is up to you. Inside the card, we've got a basic black and a white, and then there is going to be included a circle that was the 3-inch circle that was cut out of basic white using the Stylish Shapes dies. Let's get this in focus here. There you can see the little dots, the perforations all around the outside. So it looks super cool. First thing I'm going to do is adhere the basic black to the inside of the card. Opening up the card base and then adhering the basic black. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this piece of basic white that we have. So the basic black that's inside of the card has been cut to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. The basic white piece here has been cut to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So the black is just an 1/8 inch bigger, and I think it looks so nice framing the white. So that's the inside of the card. Now for the outside of the card, I'm going to bring in a piece of grid paper, and then I've got, you can see that I've used this grid paper on the other side. Hey, there are 2 sides to it, so don't want to waste it. I'm going to use the other side. I'm going to start off by inking some pecan pie on this base and using the splatter. All the stamps I'm using are from the Irresistible Blooms stamp set, and so I'm using the splatter to begin with, and I'm going to do it like as I call it, full strength first, from the corner going inside of it, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I've kind of got a diagonal line. Now I'm going to stamp off a few and make it so it's not as dark. To stamp some more of these splatters here. All across. Now I'm going to do a splatter on the inside as well. So now the inside of the card is going to coordinate with the outside of the card. So that's it for our splatter. Or you can use the splatter also for on the envelope. That's a really great idea, way to use it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my circle that I have. Oh no, I just got ink all over it. That's okay. No one will even notice. All right, I am going to go ahead and use the Berry Burst ink on it. You know what, I think I'll just turn it over. It has two sides as well. Make sure I don't have any ink on me still. Hey, all right. So I'm going to stamp it right here at the edge. I want to leave room for my sentiment. And then the opposite edge, I do the large as well. And then I'm going to take the smaller flower and stamp it on a piece of scrap basic white. Using the coordinating dies, right here with the flower, I cut it out, and here I have one already done. So I'm going to set that aside. Now I also am going to, with the, that's it for the Berry Burst that I'm using anyway. You'll use whatever inks you have at home. I'm using Old Olive next. And I'm going to do the leaves. Ink that up and then do some leaves right next to this flower on the top. All right, so I'm happy with that. And the next thing I'm going to do is the thank you. I want to make this a thank you card, so I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. And the thank you from the same stamp set. I'm going to find an empty space in here and stamp the thank you in there. All right, that's all set. I think I would also like to do some splatters on this piece, so I'm going to go back in with the pecan pie and the splatter and gonna get just a couple here. On that element as well. All right, now I think I'll be done with that. Go ahead and close that up. So here's some fun. The coordinating dies with the Irresistible Blooms, as the Irresistible Blooms dies, have these gorgeous leaves, and they are very intricate. This is a magnetic sheet that I put when I'm going to do a project with a bunch of die cuts, I put them on a magnetic sheet so I don't lose them at all. And I'm going to show you how to use the adhesive sheets, which are something we tend to overlook, but they are absolutely incredibly wonderful. So the adhesive sheets come in a big package like this, and there are 12 sheets that are pretty large. You can see they're a really good size of adhesive sheets. So I like to take one of them out, and I tend to cut one of them up to go with whatever I need. So I've got a little scrap of Old Olive here. I know that these leaves, I want to do 3 of them, and I know all 3 will fit very easily on this bit of scrap that I had in my package of cardstock, right? So this I have cut to, I have made sure it is about 3 inches by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut a piece of the adhesive sheet to be the same size. I'm going to have it be 1.5 inches using my paper trimmer. 1.5 inches, and now I'm going to cut it to be 3 inches. And then I take what I'm not going to use and put it back into the package for the next time I need to use an adhesive sheet. That way I keep everything nice and together, and I keep from wasting it. So I'm going to put that inside like that. Close it up, and then I put it away. So I have this little piece of old olive. Now what I'm going to do is it has the adhesive backing back here has some different pieces where it's open. All right, it's like a big double sided tape there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the flower and my other stamped image there. I take off the smaller end and I'm going to put it on the back of the old olive. All right, so I've got it here together, and then I bend this over and begin this sheet. Open it up until I have covered the back of this paper with adhesive sheet. How nice is that? Now there's going to be glue all on the back of these when I cut them out because I have the adhesive on there. This is such a great way to have smaller pieces, and then you know they are all glued. I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine, and I have the plates. You use plate number 1 on the bottom. Plate number 2 is next, you know, like they go 1 and 2, but you need to make sure it is not even with plate 1. That's just how they feed into this mini better. And then I'm going to lay the die cuts on top, and then the top number 2 plate is even with the bottom plate. So I've made effectively a C, feeding it in to the machine, and then I just crank it out. There we go. I'll move the embossing machine aside as well as the plates aside and show you the magic here. So we'll take out the leaves that we have created, and I may end up using this for something else. I don't know. So I can always put it in the old olive package of paper, and I've got adhesive paper ready to go. How awesome is that? Now I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool and poke a hole right in there to get the leaf out of the die cut. And then I poke out all the little pieces. All right, putting that on my magnetic sheet so I don't lose it, because I'm very good at losing things. So there's one completely ready to go and put onto our card. Here's the second one, putting it onto the magnetic sheet and then poking out the little details here. Stampin' Up! Also has a brush that you can put onto your Take Your Pick tool, and the brush will get out all these little details as well. I do not have the brush. I tend to use the poking part, the piercing part, and get that out that way. So, poking these out, and there we go. Almost done. All right, 3 of them, and they're so pretty, all ready to be used. I see a little bit of it there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of those little pieces of paper. Now all I need to do is take the backing off. So to take the backing off, I simply take the Take Your Pick tool and I begin to get at the adhesive between it, and it peels right off. You see how it peels off? And now I've got tape everywhere on there. How cool is that? All right, the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the card. There we go. Now I'm going to put this on, but I'm going to lift it up with some dimensionals. Now I'm going to put the adhesive-backed leaf on there, if I can pick it up. There. And then I'm going to take the adhesive off of this back of the leaf as well. I can see that adhesive on there. Okay, yay, I got it. Excellent. All right, so now this little piece of adhesive leaf is going to get tucked under that direction, and one more to go. So we're going to pick off this piece of adhesive, backed. There we are. And overlap it like that. And they stay so nicely, adhesive all around there. All right, so the last thing is some embellishments. I put on the adhesive-backed sparkle gems, and I think that this kind of gold color is absolutely gorgeous. So I pick it up with the Take Your Pick tool putty end, and I will do one more small one right there. So that is how I envisioned this card gut ending up looking, because I used these stamps and these different embellishments. And the inside as well. I hope that you can envision how you will use your stamps, ink, and embellishments to create a card that would be just as nice or nicer than the one I ended up creating. It's so easy when you've got everything all pre-cut for you, all measured out and ready to go, right? And also learning how to use the adhesive sheets. Pretty cool. I hope you got something out of that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Again, please give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks a lot. Bye.